What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Hello World. Yes, I know that I am a bit on the early side, but I'm still here. And I figured, you know what, let me come on early because I just want to, enjoy a little bit of time later this evening, just doing whatever I feel like doing, So forgive me for coming on early. And it is a holiday, so why not, right? Why not let me enjoy a little bit of the holiday? Can I get an amen? Hey, Corey! Shout out to Corey, guys. Corey is having a challenge. Um, I'm sorry I didn't make it today. Are you feeling any better? I think I saw something on Instagram that said you weren't feeling tip toppity top today. So I just wanted to say, hey, hope you're feeling better. How are you? Anyway, guys. Okay. You reserved a spot for me. Aw. And I'm all about that. I wanted to get that money. That's what was that was all in my head. I wanted to get that money. Um, man. But let me tell you, Corey, it was like such a long day. I have to tell you about my day, guys. But before I get into that, I definitely wanted to say I hope you had a miraculous day. Make sure you are liking, subscribing, and sharing the videos. And when you do subscribe, just turn on your notification bells. Again, like I said, I'm sorry that I'm on here an hour earlier, but I kind of wanted to come on early and do a few more things afterwards. Just a little bit of time for myself. I think we all deserve that. But in any event, the show Hello World has turned 80 today. That means it's been 80 whole days since I've actually turned on the TV. Hey Vicky, you finally made it. Everybody, let's give a clap for Vicky. Yay. I'm so glad you're here. Yes, finally. And I'm actually on a little earlier than I usually am, but I figured it's the holiday weekend, so you guys would be a little bit more forgiving because of that. Um, and also, I was so excited to talk about my day today. And I also want to know how your day went, both of you, because it's important that we share, because sharing is caring. And yes, I'm excited. So yes, don't forget to turn on your notification bells, like and subscribe, and more importantly, just a reminder: Hello World is all about talking about everything and anything, and then the best part is to apply what we talk about to our daily lives, and then hopefully, in essence, that will turn people that we speak to into better people because of our light that is shining so brightly. Ooh. Oh, okay. I hope you're enjoying the holiday weekend. And I went on Instagram yesterday, and this is my alkaline water. It's just lime and water, just to kind of get the mucus out of the body. Plus, I do not believe I drank enough water at all today. I think I only had one bottle. And for me and my body weight, I'm supposed to have at least 8 ounce cups of water a day. So I'm definitely on the dehydrated point. hmm Anyway, so today I'm just too excited. So today I went to an event. It's called p.i.f.f.y, paying it forward to our youth. Yes. So it was pretty much, it was in Patterson or held in New Jersey. Like I kind of get that kind of confused because it's on the border, and it was at the La Nivi. I call it La Nivi. I might be pronouncing it wrong. I don't know, but the La Nivi Restaurant and Catering Hall. And I've been to that particular hall once or twice. Actually, this will be my second time going there. And the first time I went as an author, a new author, and I did a book signing there. For that was so that was my very first book signing ever, and it was amazing. It was dope. The people of Patterson and Hildon came out and supported, and I just was amazed because I only became an author like a year ago, and I've only become a registered author um, back in October. So this is brand new. I have three different, um, three different. What is it? What do I have? Three different parts. Yes, I have three different parts to the book. They're all original quotes, and they're pretty much things that make you want to think. And they are copywritten, so you know that they are actually original, and that I have not copied it from another soul in the entire world. Isn't that amazing? How you can stand out amongst the entire world, and no one in the copyright office can find anything similar or exact as what you're doing. Like, I'm so amazed about that. And yes, I get inspired by outside influences. Sometimes the actual quotes came from somewhere within. Like, and I'm just like, wow, I even thought about that. So that is just crazy in itself. And I think after this third part, I'm kind of done. I haven't been able to think of an original quote for weeks, going on months now. So it's kind of like I have a writer's block, or I don't know, maybe somebody's putting their bad mojo on me, and I can't think of anything. So, and I rather be authentic than to just pump out something that just does not make sense or is just not something that I feel true. So anyway, back to this event. So they honored kids and teenagers, and I believe there was one college student. So basically, there was an eighth grader who got the award, and her GPA in eighth grade is a 3.9 or 3.5 or something like that. Um, I just could not believe it. I was just so happy. And it's just, for me, it's like when I was younger, it didn't seem like a big deal. And probably to her, it doesn't seem like a big deal. But out of all of the students in all of the public high schools in Patterson, because there are a lot of them, and elementary schools, because she is in eighth grade, they decided to pick her. And I hope that when she gets older, if she doesn't realize it now, like that's a pretty dope honor to have where somebody can just pick you out, or your teacher, because a teacher picks you out of the entire group and wants to honor you because you have good grades and you're excelling in your community and you're giving back. And the fact that this woman, her name is Bridget, and this was their third annual award. So to think about wanting to excel and to show these kids and adults that what you're doing in your community is so important, that I want you to know that you're valued and that what you're doing, we want you to continue. And we're gifting you awards so that you know that we respect and honor you. Um, and like, yeah, there was some dignitaries there, but that didn't matter. I was just like, wow, And then for the first time in my life, um, and I know it's possible, but I just never really put the two together until you actually hear it. There was one girl, and there were quite a few other people too, but there was one girl who had a 4.11 GPA. A 4.11 GPA. Can you imagine that? Like that's more than an A plus, And then when I was talking to my friend earlier, he was like, "Yeah, there's some people that have a 5.0." I'm like, "Wow, that's amazing." But to be in high school and to be putting yourself through that much discipline, right? Because it's a discipline to focus on your studies and to excel to perfection, or the standards of what we put perfection as in school. And just to be honored for that. And then all the other accolades that she was getting, like I don't remember, but she got another award one out of 60,000 people were nominated, and she was the one that got it. So I was like, wow, that's amazing. I think she was a 12th grader, if I wasn't mistaken. Um, but just that alone, it made my heart feel so warm because like I get it now. You know what I mean? Maybe a year ago or maybe 2 years ago, just sitting at this award, I'd have been like, okay, when are they gonna try to buy stuff from me? Because I have to make my table, or I have to like show them that I want to encourage people as well. But like it hit home so good, like, wow, yeah, she does have a lot of potential, and I hope that she stays on the path. And I believe she's doing aerobotics and like and technology as well. So that's a very good thing. Um, but just to be able to separate my own thing and just to really recognize and really understand how impactful not only is it to receive the award, but also for the person who thought about making an award ceremony just for this. And then they also introduced a Robert something Johnson. I don't know. I probably am botching that up, but you guys can always go to Piffy Awards if you want. They have a Facebook page. You can easily Google it. It's P as in Peter, p.i.f.f.y. If you want to Google that Piffy Awards and primary put in Patterson, that way you know you're going to the right page. They have a Facebook page, and you can read up on their organization, why they do what they're doing, and how important I believe it is for the community. And I just hope that the recipients truly understand how amazing it is to be a recipient of an award like that. It's almost like a humanitarian award for kids. And I think that's so amazing. And I hope that they do more. And there were adults that did receive awards too. And one woman, she's a face painter, and she was talking about how um, you know, she, recognizes what the kids are going through by just talking to them. And she said most of them feel like they're being ignored by their parents. They feel like they're self sabotaging because, you know, our beautiful television programs, our programming from our television, remember programming, is teaching them how beauty is more important and having to perfect life is important. So once you're feeding or programming our kids to believe that any little thing that they don't meet as far as those standards are, then they self sabotage. Yes. And these are kids. So, yes, we do need to invest more into holistic living just across the board. Not to say that material things aren't amazing and beautiful and we should appreciate them and should indulge in them from time to time, but that should not be our main priority. That's all I'm saying. Um, and self sabotaging. And there was one other thing she said. I don't remember it right now, but oh, and then she also wanted phonics to go back into the school system. The mayor's wife was there, and she wants to start programs where they teach younger kids, kindergartners and first graders, how to read because a lot of them, are not reading at their grade level. And her parents should get an award too, since they instill those. Yes, they should. Oh, yes. And she said that a lot of the kids feel like their parents are too hard on them for some of them. So I think it's a win-win for everybody if we can kind of just meet the kids where they are, kind of understand that they are human beings and that they are valid and their feelings are valid and it means something, and as adults just to meet them there and kind of nurture that. So yes, those parents do need to be grateful that their kids have gone that far, and I think the award is in itself they received the award as well, just knowing that that's my kid. Yeah, that's my kid getting that award. you know? So I think that award that I think those parents feel awarded in that aspect. And I'm not going to judge how they looked, but a lot of the parents, they definitely look like hardworking people. Like they have to do their best to keep food on the table and that they do their best to make sure their kids are nurtured at least to the point where they're going to school and doing the best that they can. So I agree the parents did get what they went for. And hey, NASCAR man. Shout out to NASCAR man and Vicky. Thank you guys for joining me today. I am a little early, but I feel like, once I come off here, then I'll be able to like do a little bit of things that I wanted to do while the rain is raining and it'll subside. And hopefully by the time it stops, I can, indulge in something for the holiday weekend. It's just a holiday. But I will go back to my regular schedule Tuesday. I might come on early again tomorrow, maybe later, but it's the holiday, so forgive me. Um, but yes, NASCAR, I was talking about the event that I was at today. It was called p.i.f.f.y Awards, where it's paying it forward to our youth. I was just so amazed. And I signed up for this event because one, I love kids. And two, I know that my money that I'm paying for the event is going towards something good. And if I'm going to be an inspirational company, I may not be able to give back or personally know these children, but if I know that some of my proceed is going towards the embodiment and upliftment and educating and actually maybe putting funds into these kids, then I don't mind doing that. I could have done anything else, but I loved being there. And it was just amazing. From the adults who gave, there was also an adult, he graduated from Patterson Public High School, went to Juilliard. Yes. Went to Juilliard and then came back to his community and started a dancing foundation. I was just like, that is amazing. He went to Juilliard. You have to be an amazing performer, musician to be able to go to Juilliard. hmm And I believe they said that he was in a few dance companies, like really popular dance companies in New York, and he was there. He actually came to my table. He looked at the stuff, and just knowing that people that are that fundamental could actually be exposed to my company, that was amazing. And so it made the day all worth it too. So it was just great. Um, it was just great. And then there was one person who actually wrote a positive feedback about their experience with Be the Difference. And they purchased socks. And so I think tomorrow or maybe Tuesday, I'm definitely going to post on my Instagram page the dopeness of the socks. Now, it's not for me to like really just push myself up, but it's really just saying, like, don't give me a hard time because you think that my socks are expensive. Like, the people that I was talking to, when they realized I only make 12 of any kind, one, that takes a lot of brain power to come up with socks. Two, they are designed with me and an artist, and me being the control of that design. Every piece of material, um, every piece of instrument or every piece of thing that goes onto a sock is coming from me. And I'm giving you a little piece of my mind and my heart. And for somebody to turn around sometimes and say that it's expensive, it's like a slap in the face because one, you don't know the cost factor that it takes for me to get these produced, and they're not mass quantity. So I'm definitely not making money off of the socks because I want to provide something that is so exclusive through clothing that somebody can have forever. And on top of that, I don't even own any of my own socks. So they're not expensive at all. They're $15. That's nothing to have something that even the owner doesn't own. So the day that I die, the value, and hopefully the company will be, nationwide by then. But the day that I die, whoever actually owns those socks, never wore them but framed them, will now have an article from the company that no one else in the world has, but only maybe 11 other people. And even within that 11, the colors are broken down in different variations. So there's only one sock. What? And you telling me they're expensive? Are you crazy? What? Like, and I downplay myself a lot because I don't want to ever come off as conceited or vain or anything. But like, it's dope, right? Who else is doing that for you? Nike isn't doing that for you, right? Because imagine Nike, they make millions of socks that only cost a penny. And they're selling it to you for like 18, 19, $20. Even if they sell it to you for $10, they're making $9.99. I don't make $15 or even $14 off of my socks, right? So we just have to appreciate that. Having two boys myself, seeing them grow to be grown adults makes me proud. Oh, you're tough on your kids because they need it where to be soft on our children today. You're right. You're right, especially because you're raising men. So men do need that little toughness. They do. So yes, don't let up. But yes, you'll know the balance between knowing when a child needs to be tenderized versus when a child just needs that tough love. So yes, and everybody knows their kids' personality. Some kids need the tough love, some don't. Sometimes a parent could just look at their kid crazy, like, and they'll turn around and be good. Sometimes that's all it takes. But there are kids that need a little more than just an angry face, So, yes, continue to raise your boys to be men. Because that's like you said, that is the trophy that a parent can get. When your kids can turn into something so productive in society, you can say, that's my kid. I did that, or I took a part in that, right? Because while you can instill so many great things into your child, it's up to them to actually put that to action, right? The other award that I was telling you about, the award that they created, the woman had 9 children, and she said, "My kids keep me going, and they're the ones that inspire me." She said all 9 of her kids have gone to high school, have gone to college, and they're productive. They're productive citizens. She was like, none of them have gotten into any trouble. And she was so happy about that. She was like, besides, she couldn't say that for herself or her husband, who passed away. But she said that she's just proud that they grew up and didn't follow in her path. Like, I can imagine, like, I'm not a parent, but if I had one child, but even 9, not all 9 of them, none of them are in trouble. Do you know statistically, or it's probably not statistical from what I've seen, in most families, let's say 4, maybe 2, even one of those kids out of all of them always turns out not good or always struggles with something. But she said all 9 of her kids are amazingly well, doing well, productive citizens in society. Like, that is an applauding moment for her, you know? And again, I'm not a parent, but like, if I were one, just to imagine that all of your seedlings turned out to be good, productive people that you can be proud of, then that is amazing. That is an award in itself. So yes, today was an amazing day. Um, as far as sales for me, I did pretty good. People supported. I sold a lot of socks. Um, I sold a few T-shirts, and I sold a hoodie. And the hoodie, oh, and I sold a few books too. The hoodie was actually a glow in the dark hoodie, and it was dope. I'm glad that he purchased it. I'm glad to get that off. I don't keep a lot of hoodies on stock because they are very expensive. And so imagine you have a very expensive item that's not moving. That's kind of hard. When do you sell? Where do I sell? If you look at the link below and hit the shop my merch button, you can look at the socks there. They're labeled under custom socks. Um, and then also you can read up more about the company, because I really don't talk about my company much on Hello World, but you can read up on the company, why it was started, you can read up a little bit about me, and that's about it. But hey, Rebecca! Rebecca was with me yesterday. How are you? Nice to see you. Thank you for joining me. Um, and I think you all know each other with the exception of Corey. You guys, if he's still on, you guys may not know Corey, but I had him on the show like very early in the age. Um, you're good. I'm glad. Um, he very early on when I first started Hello World, Corey was on there. He was talking about being an activist because he is an activist. He fights for rights for people who may not be living anymore, but just I think mainly because the cops in Patterson may be corrupt, and he's trying to expose that and also just inform people of what's going on. So he's an activist in that right. My 2.5 and 6-year-old would love to go in a glow in a yes, I have the only thing that glows in oh yes, I have two. So I have the glow in the dark, my future is bright. I have the glow in the dark logo tee, which is basically the Be the Difference logo. And then I put them, and the cool thing about it is I make everything. Like I print, okay, I press everything because I don't print everything because I get it from a company, a third party company, and then I print them. So, yes, I print all of the clothing myself, and I have scars to prove it. But yes, I print all of the clothing. And I like to think of it as like people, when they do purchase something from me, they're getting a little piece of me as well from there because I put a whole lot of concentration into printing. And also, like, I treat the clothing like gold. You can ask my dad. Like, sometimes I yell at him, like, why are you throwing it like that? Or don't throw it, fold it nice. So, like, I get on him because I'm like, until it leaves my possession, I treat it like it's worthy of something. And um and that's just how it is. I feel like if you treat the things that you create with such high honor, you're just passing it off that way. I don't know, whatever. But yes, that was my day in a nutshell. And it just so happened I was there only because I was a vendor. So I was just excited and happy that so to be in the building to see these recipients. And I hope that they understand what they have gained that day and that they just care about it. Um, I don't know. It's just cool. It's just a cool thing, guys. Like we should definitely try to give back on our own times. And I think you guys do. Like I always talk about it. NASCAR man, when he's a part of the other chats, I'm always looking at it at work. Yes, I'm at work listening. Sometimes when I can have the volume up, I can listen and just watch what's going on. Norgis R, she has her chat every day, every morning. It seems like every morning I see the little red button and I just click on it and I see NASCAR man and Norgis and Ujanana, Tracy. She's on there too. And it's just like, it's amazing. Does anybody know the status of how Shamrock Pixie is doing? I think about her often, especially hearing what happened to her. I hope she's okay. So yes, if you don't mind, if just send her my regard. Um, oh, cool. Is she doing okay? Is she in less pain? Because I was kind of praying that she would be in less pain. Because it's one thing to be in the hospital, but to be in pain and be in the hospital, that's no, not cool. I'll tell you guys, and uh, I don't know if you guys saw the episode or not, but it doesn't matter. I'll tell it again. But I had one major surgery. I think it was 2016. And the only thing that I prayed for and I was hoping for was to have no pain. And because the procedure I had, you're supposed to have pain. And so the doctor, he told me there was a technique that he could use where I wouldn't be in any pain. So I just ran with that. And I just emphasized all my powers like, no pain, no pain, no pain. So by the time the pain management nurse came around, she asked me from 1 to 10 what my pain was. I said 0. And she's like, what? I was like, yeah, 0. I don't feel anything. But when I did get home, I understood what that pain could have been because I only felt it when I laughed or coughed. So, needless to say, I refrained from coughing and I refrained from laughing that first week because I felt it. So, but I was just thankful that, outside of that, there was no pain. So I always, and the person that was in the room, the same room that I shared the room with that night, she had the same procedure done too. And like, she was just moaning and groaning. And I was like, oh, that could have been me. Oh, no, 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 no. I was too busy just, thinking about life and just appreciating that I was still alive after surgery because there's a lot of people who go through surgery that don't make it. I'll tell you this story. So I work at a doctor's office, and there was a patient there that I kind of grew attached to, and he would come in periodically to get his eyes checked. And one day I noticed that he hadn't come, so I just called him to see how he was doing. And I guess maybe you shouldn't do that. I don't know, but I'm not traditional. So I called him, and he said, "Wow, you remembered me." He was like, what happened was he went in for a colonoscopy, guys, and the surgeon sliced his stomach open, right? So all the toxins, they sliced his colon, right? They sliced his colon while they were doing the procedure. A normal routine colonoscopy, right? That's something that people do every day. That's not a big deal. But they sliced his colon, and then that created all the toxin came out. He ended up with cancer. He got tongue cancer and some other cancer. And when he finally came to the office, um, I was just glad. So that tells you guys too, when somebody is tugging on your heart to call or reach out to, just do it. Because he was tugging on my mind just out of the blue. And I called him and he was, and I believe he was in the hospital. This was years ago. He was in the hospital and he was like, I can't believe you remembered me, blah, blah, blah. And then he told me the story of what happened. And ever since then, I didn't leave him alone. I always checked on him and everything else. So eventually he passed because the cancer spread and he passed away. They ended up cutting part of his tongue out. Yeah. And he came to the office and he would be talking and they cut his tongue out. I didn't want to look in his mouth to see part of his tongue missing, but I knew it was not there. Part of it wasn't there because the speech was not the same. But needless to say, we need to stay connected to each other, right? So when somebody comes to mind, pick up the phone and call, or know that you're going to see them very soon. But pick up the phone because you never know. And when he passed, I went ahead and started mailing his wife the daily breads. And it's something that I read often. I read every day the daily bread. Again, I'm not, I don't consider myself religious at all. I just, follow what the Bible says. I apply it to my life as much as possible. And then, if people really read the Bible completely from through and through and allowed the Holy Spirit to like really talk to you while you're reading that scripture, then you'll be open to understanding what it's supposed to mean for you at that time. Right. So there was a time when I had read the Bible 3 times. I read through the Bible 3 times. So that's 3 years I had read through the Bible continuously. I don't read through the Bible anymore. Um, I don't know. There's no particular reason why. I just don't. But I do the daily bread every day. I do go to church. Um, but again, I'm not religious anymore because, religion is not relationship. And a lot of people don't have a relationship. And so sometimes that can be a little, whatever. Anyway, we're not here to judge people. That's not what Hello World is all about. I'm just giving you a personal account of what I do. So I actually, to this day, mail the daily breads to her. And up until maybe like a year or two ago when I did, because I used to write a letter and send it to her, she was still going to grief counseling because he left behind a bagel company. So she runs the bagel company and she was still appreciative of me sending those daily breads. So I send that to people because if it's encouraging her, hey Shamrock, hey girl, how are you? See, there's Shamrock, everybody. Welcome to Hello World. Shamrock has been on occasion with me, so I'm so glad to see you. How are you feeling? How are you feeling, girl? I was asking about you. I thought about you yesterday, actually, when I was driving somewhere. I think I was meeting someone to go for a walk. But I was thinking about you and I was hoping that you'd be able to experience a little bit of what I experienced when I had to be in the hospital, like having no pain. So I'm just hoping that the pain will just go away so you don't have to think about that and just kind of somewhat enjoy being in the hospital and inspiring, your nurses and maybe if you have a neighbor, that kind of thing. Because, sometimes fun things, let's say fun things that are not fun that happen to us, um, could really be opening doors for other people. Right. So when I was in the hospital, I guess I was just scared and nervous at the same time. But as they were wheeling me into the OR, I was just looking at other people in the room. Like if we made contact, I would just smile and say hi, because I was just like, I don't know. I guess I was just really scared. And when you're nervous and afraid, you do crazy things, right? So I was just saying hi to everybody and just, as they rolled me by. And I was just like, I don't know what's gonna happen. But if I don't live, then maybe at least I could just say hi to people. I don't know. But it is what it is. Blood needs to be given, but I will be yes, that's okay. And hopefully they give you good juicy blood too. That's gonna keep you moving. Oh, that's okay. Um, so yes, Shamrock, I'm so happy that you are here and that you're able to give me a few moments of your time. And it was very, very, very soothing when you showed up in the chat for Norgis because that was the first time that I heard that something happened to you. And I was like, wait a second, I was just talking in the same chat with her like the day before. So when she said that you had an emergency and was in the hospital, I was like, what? No. I was like, no. I was like, not the Shamrock that's supposed to be giving her testimony and telling everybody about her life that needs to hear it. But at least now you don't have to be camera shy because you are live from the hospital room. So boom, boom, boom. Anything is possible, sis. And you did not look bad, and your eye didn't look bad either. So um, just adding that in there. But yes, um, that was just my little tiny experience in a hospital. Um, so yes, Shamrock, if you ever need anything, you can always reach out, email. If you ever feel lonely, you can send me a text. The telephone number, my telephone number is in the description below. So anybody, my text is open to anybody. I don't really care who contacts me because it is what it is. You may get some people that are, shady, but then there's other people who are genuine and need something. So if you ever feel alone, Shamrock, and just need somebody to talk to or text, just text me. The phone number's down there. It's fine. I'm always on my phone anyway. Thankfully, the job that I have, I can watch my YouTube all day, any day. I can go on my Instagram. I can do social media. And more important, I can text anytime during the day and don't not get in trouble. Hey, Mercedes! Everybody, this is Mercedes, a friend of mine. And also, too, we should all get to know each other. So feel free to check each other's pages out and show love accordingly. Hey, Mercedes. Thank you for joining me and joining in the chat so I know that you're actually here. I hope you didn't get drenched on the way home. I was thinking about that. And I was just telling people that I actually came on a little earlier because I might want to do some things afterwards while the light is still up. And, it is what it is. It's the holiday, so you can forgive me for a moment, right? But yes, guys, we need to continue to encourage each other because life is already hard just in your shell alone. Do you know how many thoughts that go through your head that aren't positive all the time? It happens to me. Not as often, but it happens to me. But I now have tools to kick that out. But imagine all the people that don't yet have the tools yet that we have, right? Because what we're doing is we're taking the tools that we have and just spreading it all over so that they can become a little more maybe optimistic and can meet life's challenges a little easier, right? Because that's what we're all about. So we need to encourage each other. That's what life is all about. That's what this whole living thing is all about. It's about humanity, right? Not the vanities of our world. Because we can indulge in things, but humanity should be our priority, right? Imagine if we all paid attention to humanity a little bit more, paid attention to each other a little bit more. Maybe we could see past the tough exterior sometimes, right? Even sometimes the tough exterior can be for some people who smile all the time and whatever. It's not me because I'm doing a lot better, or you wouldn't have me on here if it was me. But like sometimes tough exteriors can come in many forms. People can be jovial or pretend to be jovial. Some people can be downright mean, nasty, and some people can be downright just depressed and just on the verge of something that we don't want them to go to, right? So if we pay more attention to each other, we'll notice human behavior, the difference between good human behavior and bad human behavior, right? And if you tuned into any of my previous episodes, you'll know that I used to work at a hotel. And by working at a hotel, you you notice a lot of you notice a lot of patterns with people, right? And you tend to become like an FBI agent. Yeah. I went to FBI school through working at hotels. Yes, I did. Because it's there where I picked up on different types of people and the difference between someone who's hurting and someone who isn't. Because I, for one, pay attention to everything. And when you see somebody that's hurting, for me, it pulls on me. I just get this sense of like, wow, like I just want to do something to help, right? When somebody is hurting. So the more we pay attention to just people in general, and even if and I know in the last chat on Norgis's chat, she's some people aren't able to go out as often. But even if you study the body behavior of different people, then you can kind of tell if you see people like even the people that you chat with, you'll see like when they're having a bad day or if they're on the verge of having a bad day, you'll notice that stuff. Yes, you will. I'm telling you guys all the secrets. But that's what I learned. And sharing is caring, right? So might as well share what I know. Because if it can help someone in need or talk somebody off of that tall ladder, then that's what we're required to do, right? And again, like, the chat is right here. But after this episode, which is 80, yay, that's 80 days of me not purposely turning on the TV, guys. Yes. 80 days. That's a long time. And I fill my time up with doing different things now. I'm on YouTube a lot more. I watch other people's shows. I just absorb other people and most of the times I'm smiling because I'm like, wow, that's dope. Like, just to see how people are and how they interact with each other and to know that a lot of people don't even know each other that long, but just embrace each other so easily. That's just amazing. That's human nature in its best form. Yes, it is. So yes, 80 episodes in. Um, and then when I'm not on YouTube, I am trying to create things. And if I'm not trying to create things and I'm hanging out with people like Mercedes, because she is local, so I hang out with Mercedes. That's my homie right there. I've known Mercedes for like maybe 2 years or so. I don't know. I don't remember when we met, but everything happens for a reason. I met her at this thing called Meetup. It's pretty much an application where people just meet other people for events. different social things that you may like. And that's how I met Mercedes, and we've been cool ever since. So you never know who can be long term friends and pretty much can encourage you in your life if you know, don't go where you're supposed to go, right? And how do you know where you're supposed to go? You let life flow. Yes, you allow life to flow and you go with the flow of life because life isn't just this. And another thing that I want to recommend is that we get out of our routines and switch it up from time to time. Yeah, the routine. Because I don't think as humans we were intended to be in routine all the time. And I mean that as far as like sometimes, like, all right, so let's just say if you guys do go to church, um, instead of gravitating to the same seat that you gravitate to, switch it up. Because when you, even by switching a seat, you change the atmosphere of your life. Yes, you do. By just changing one little thing, even like changing the rotation of your pillow or your bed, that changes a whole lot. Going through your clothes and taking out old things, that changes a lot because you know what? You're telling life, I'm ready to receive new, better things. Yes. Better experiences, new experiences by just changing a few things. When we consistently work on our vision boards, guys, you are telling whatever you believe in, your higher power, God, or whatever, you're telling them subliminally that you want this out of life. This is what you are expecting out of life. And they will meet you, but you have to be willing to meet halfway too, because it may not be according to the program that you have designed in your head. It may just be something winding. Right? Yes. That winding road, that winding, unexpected road that some of us are afraid to travel. And I'm one of them too. I'm afraid to travel winding roads too, because if I don't know the outcome, who wants that, right? Right. Who wants to be on a road where you can't control it? That's just how we've been taught. We've been raised to control. But once we let go of that control, imagine the adventure you will be going on. The doors that will open, that will swing open, right? If we don't keep a death grip on our own lives, because that's what we do sometimes. And I'm talking to myself as well. We keep a death grip so tight on something because we're afraid that if it doesn't go a certain way, it's not going to go. So, yes, this is a lesson for all of us to know that we can release the death grip. Okay, maybe not have a death grip, but just release it little by little. And then when you see how it's working for you, then you can ease slowly, 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 slowly until you're like this. And then this is with your hands open. Oh, this is a great object lesson, right? With your hands wide open, you're saying to the world, to God, to whoever you believe in, I am open and ready and willing for anything great you have in store for me. You're open. But if we're like this, how can you be open? How can anything good come in if we're always like this, right? Hey, Clem. It is very difficult. And like I said, I am a product of being like this. But I feel like I'm like this more. And imagine if I'm like this, how much more my life can be better and how much more I can give to others if I'm like this, right? Because I feel like my life is definitely not my own. And my life, I mean, I know my purpose now. My purpose is to help people. And that's when I'm the happiest, when I'm helping people. And just to be able to help people and just not always see the fruits of what I've helped, but even just to water or even just to see the brightness, their eyes get a little bright. That's enough for me. That tells me, Joy, you're doing good. And that makes my purpose fulfilled. Yes, it does. That keeps smiles on my face. That keeps me motivated. You guys being here with me, just showing up in the chat, that that keeps me motivated. It keeps me saying, you know what, Joy? There are people out there that are rocking with you and they appreciate you. And I appreciate you, you know? Um, Again, I don't know what happens after the chat. When I turn off this live, I don't know what happens. I don't know who views or who shares the video and then who it might encourage. But guess what? It's going to encourage someone. That's the dopeness about it. It's going to encourage somebody. And I hope it encourages people that need it and also people that just needed that extra boost. That is dope. Mhm. And that's what we all do for each other when we feed off each other, when we're that shoulder that we're leaning on, right? When you, like, if I'm falling and I know that emotionally somebody's back there catching me, then I'm not falling. I'm just simply off a little bit. But there's somebody there to save me that's willing to. Do you know how dope that is when you have people that are willing to be there for you? No matter what. You know how dope that is? Like, can you really conceive in your heart how important and how dope that is? That there are people, many people out there, if they only knew, that are willing to be there for you. That's dope. Yes, that is dope. And to know that there are people, look at the sun coming out, guys. That's nature. It can rain one minute and then sun the next. But like just to know, and for you guys, realize that in your own lives, there are so many people, whether you recognize it or not, that are so willing to catch you when you're at your lowest. That is dope. They are investing in you. They are investing in you. They are showing that your life is that important, right? And when you are at your top, when you can when you can operate at your best, imagine how much more our world continues to change for the better. hmm This is why we cannot let depression, we cannot let down moments hold us back long. Because I know, and I can say this for a fact, that every single one of us in this entire world, young, old, whatever, we all experience depression. If you say you haven't, then you're a liar. And if you're a liar, then you are hiding from your own hands being open, right? But we all experience depression. We all experience loss. We all experience things in life that we don't are not comfortable with, that we don't ever want to go through, but we go. But to know that there are people just readily waiting to be that hug, to be that shoulder, to be that ear, makes it easier to get through. And if only we can admit sometimes when we're actually going through, instead of wasting time, right? Wasting time allowing days to go by, weeks, months to go by before we can say, you know what? I can't take it anymore. I need help, right? We're here to make each other feel comfortable and to also branch out and let other people know that it's okay and to let them know that you can feel comfortable in sharing when you're not at your top, especially when you're at your lowest. That it's okay to talk about it. Find a trusted person. And it's okay to talk about it. We don't have to tell all of our business to every single person in the world. No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying we need to get comfortable when we're uncomfortable so that we can become comfortable faster. That's all. Imagine that. If depression could only minimize into just a bad day alone. Yes. Before it spiraled out into depression, right? Imagine if we can nip it in the bud that same day. Imagine if a clinically depressed person can actually come out of it and just be depressed once in a while and actually live a full life and become productive in a way that we need, right? Because even those who are clinically depressed, we need them because there's something inside of them that is so important. No life is unimportant, right? If you're living, breathing, you have a train of thought and you can add, imagine if they were able to add to the capacity that they were supposed to add at that time. That's what we're trying to do, right? To help each other be at the capacity that we're able to be. I saw on LinkedIn yesterday a young boy with cerebral palsy be able to lift pretty much a rock. Like if you go to a gym, there's like these. I don't know. I don't know the technical name for it, but this I call it a rock, and I think it's maybe like 50 pounds. I'm probably over talking. I don't know, but it's heavy. But the fact that there was someone patient enough to teach him how to lift it properly, and for to spend that much time to teach him how to lift that rock, and for him to do it, and for him to understand that he's doing an amazing task. I saw the same kid on LinkedIn like a few months ago too, lifting 200 pounds on a barbell. Like, do you know how encouraged I felt just seeing that? Right? So not only did that trainer encourage him, but it trifold into someone like me, a perfect stranger, seeing that and just feeling like, wow, that's amazing. That's amazing that somebody has that much patience to teach someone, to give their time, to give their energy to someone else who may not be operating in the same capacity as what we call normal, to show that there is no limit if you can just take some time to teach, right? And there's special people out there. It's not all of us are equipped to do that, but there are people out there who are special enough to be able to teach and have the patience enough to teach somebody. And to be able to see that highlighted, that's amazing. That only encourages me and makes me understand more that we are all very valuable and very important, no matter what you think. Any little thing that you do can make the world of a difference for someone else. That's why our actions are so important. And if we can operate in actions of goodness majority of the time, Houston, we have blasted off into a world of less chaos and a world of togetherness. Yes. Yes. Imagine if we all turned the entire world. Imagine if the entire world turned off our programming. Now I'm talking about the TV, our programming. Imagine if we turned it off and said, we're not going to stand for you feeding us negativity anymore. We want to see highlights of great things like what I got to witness today, where one person who had a thought to give back to kids and other adults who are doing good things in the community. One person just gave of themselves. And she's turning into a 501c3, but she also expressed how she told her husband the plan that she wanted and asked him if he could fund it. So she did not get donations to fund what she did today, that breakfast. That all came out of her husband's pocket. We don't have to do things like that, but I'm just using that as an example. Like how when you care that much for somebody or people, a group of people, when you care about people that much or humanity, let's put it that way. When you care about humanity that much, that's what can happen. And let's just say all of those kids understand and realize how important the award that they received. They in turn turn around and start doing for their community even more. It's not a vicious cycle anymore. It's a beautiful cycle. You make whoever you believe in, God, your creator, whatever, you make them proud of the fact that they created you, right? Don't you want your maker, God, your creator, whoever, to be proud of you, even though they may know the paths that you can take in life, but you decide to take the holistic, humanitarian path? Do you know that's like your parent being happy? God being happy? Yes, putting a smile on his face. You don't think he can't smile? even though he knows all? You don't think that might make him feel good? Your creator, God? I mean, hey, maybe it's a far reach, but I don't know. I tend to think that when you do good things, somebody's happy, right? And if you can put a smile on your creator's face, that's only going to make you want to do it more, right? That's just me. You guys go with it however you feel. But just imagine. No, no, we're not imagining because we're doing. Just know that every single thing that you do, whether it be for your immediate circle or for people that you encounter on the street or wherever in the supermarket, just know that you have the potential to continue to make their lives better by just smiling or just saying, hey, can I help you pick up that thing if they look like they're struggling? Can I reach that item if they're too short to reach it? If you see them struggling, don't just look, help them. Be active. And you know what? That makes you feel better about yourself. So those down days, do something for someone else. And I guarantee you that'll make your down days not as down. It makes it shorter. I'm speaking from experience, okay? We're all human. We all will experience good and bad. Even when you're at your best, you can experience good and bad, but it's how you handle it that makes it the difference. Knowing that you have a greater cause outside of yourself makes the difference. Knowing that what you do can help in however capacity that you're able to do helps. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be a billionaire. You don't even have to be a thousandaire. But just know that a smile alone can turn somebody's world from upside down to right side up. Yes, it can be that simple. But you don't have to be around to, you don't have to wait for your accolade to say, okay, I did that. No, it's not like that. It's not about that. It's for you. You do good because it's for you first. And it's even the icing on the cake when the recipient actually says something or is around to say something. Or you never know. You may run into them or run into particles of them, meaning like you see them on the newspaper doing something good, or you see them on TV doing something good, and they may say, hey, I remember a time when I was at my worst and a stranger said something. You'll know that was you. That's how powerful we all are. Let's continue to use our power to uplift each other. Yes. Yes. I know you have it in you. Because if I'm speaking it, then it's possible. Guys, you are amazing. You do amazing things daily. I'm not in all of your lives every day. I don't see what goes on behind closed doors. I don't know what goes on in your head. But I do know one thing's for sure. Humanity is beautiful. And if you are a part of humanity, you are beautiful. You are blossoming into something great every single day. You are shedding your light and sharing your light to people. I know you are. I know you are. If you're perfect at it, it's not about being perfect because there is no such thing as perfection, right? It's just this perfection is just a word that we've created to stump ourselves. You are a person, a being, a creature, whatever you want to call it, that is making a difference daily, hourly, every moment for someone else. Yes, you are. Guys, this is Hello World. No, no, this is Hello World. Your girl Joy from Be the Difference. Um, there were times when I wanted to give up my company, but if I gave up my company years ago, I wouldn't be sitting here with you guys. So through the bad, the ugly, through the days where I was at an event and sold zero and lost gas money, table money, t-shirt creation money, through all of that, and just the embarrassment of not selling something and seeing other people sell, through all of that, something still made me stay. Whether it be someone that gave an encouraging word, or maybe someone that just said, you know what, I see what you're doing, and continue to do it. Or even like the people that are with you when you're doing your events, you know, that can make a world of difference. So, whatever you are passionate about, whether you hit rock bottom or not, I'm commanding you. Yes, I'm commanding you. And I normally don't, but I'm commanding you to stay on course because you never know how that might end up. You never know where life will take you until you continue to let it flow. But I could have quit a long time ago. I could have put my energies into something else personal, but that's just not me. That's not my purpose. Yeah, they're doing my company. There are times where I forsook going on vacation. I forsook going out with friends. I forsook relationships. Well, okay, not relationships, but I just forsook a lot of things because my purpose was to help others, is to help others. And now I'm just going to learn how to balance everything better so I can go on my vacations. I can balance friendships more. I can balance relationships more. Well, I live and learn. That's just life. But those days were not in vain. That's all I'm saying. So, whatever you sacrifice today, know that it's going to pay off in some form. You may not see it tomorrow. It may take years. It may not even take years. It doesn't always have to take years, but just know that if you have the right heart about it and you're going about it for the greaterment of everyone else, it's going to pay off. That's all I have for today, guys. I want to thank everyone who showed up in the chat. Shout out to Shamrock Pixie as she is getting better day by day. She is going, and I'm going to speak this now, but she is going to heal faster, efficiently, and better. And she will glow for everyone that meets her in the hospital, right? More. Her doctor, how about this? Her doctors are going to be astonished at her progress. That's what I'm saying. Because that's what we want. That's what I want for her. And I want Shamrock to be encouraged and know that you are not alone. Even when you're there by yourself, you are not alone. Just reach out to anybody you feel like and know that everything is amazing and that now that you understand how beautiful life is, because I know you knew what life was and how beautiful it was before the incident, but now that you know it even more, just go out and do good for others, even in your state. Because there are probably people in the hospital worse off than you because you can talk, you can go live with people, you can type your little fingers away. Like, you're doing amazing so far. For me, I feel like you're doing amazing. So you continue to progress and know that once you get past this, you better share your story. Yes, girl. Live too. On your channel. Let me know when. Or hopefully my notification will pop up and I will be on there just rooting for you. So guys, thank you for being with me for the few moments and giving me a little bit of time, Well, you know what I'm trying to say. Give me some time of your life. um, you guys are amazing. You're beautiful. Never let here tell you differently, or even people. Don't allow it. Because I'm telling you, and I know it's because humanity is the highest form of beauty. And as long as we continue to sow into each other and flow and let life flow, we're going to all go and walk into our purposes. Yes. I love you guys. I never say that much, but I do. And I appreciate you. Remember, Hello World is not just a show where we just watch things and that's it. No, the purpose is to take what we learn to like together collectively and do something about it out there. Because out there needs us a lot more. And our world is getting better every day. It is. Yes, it is. Just believe that and fight any doubts, fears, anything that is preventing you from living your true purpose. Kill that. Tell it not today because I believe in you. As simple as that. You are worthy of everything that you receive. You are worthy of amazing things. Your purpose is amazing. If only you can just believe that. Your purpose is amazing. It is amazing. I know it, I believe it. And you're beautiful. Even when there's ugly moments, you are beautiful anyway. Don't let life drag you down ever again if it has. Just know that you have a support system in everyone here, me, and all the other chats that you can join and are a part of. Just know that you have that there. And feel free to allow people to know when you're at your worst because you free yourself and a whole bunch of people who are afraid to free themselves. So, anyway, thank you again for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of this beautiful holiday weekend. I hope that I see you again tomorrow, sometime between 5 and 9, for another episode of Hello World. Be blessed. Continue to be the best you that I know you're capable of being. And I'm talking to myself too. Just be you. Don't give up. And I will see you guys soon. Have a good night.